Thank you for joining us. Marion, you cannot hear. Richard, can you hear me? Anyone else having trouble hearing me?
I hear you fine. I was just muted.
Okay, Marion needs some help in helping here. She says, I'm really low. Let me see if I can turn anything up. I'm highest as I can be. I will try to get closer to the microphone. I'm practically yelling here. But welcome to Happy Hour. We are doing a 3-part series. This is the second. Your voice level is lower than Richard's. Richard, what can we do about that? Anything? Well, open the mixer and see what we have.
Yeah, see if you can adjust your mixer up. I'm on a special setup so that I get more volume, but I use a little preamp.
Well, I'll just try to get closer to the mic and then fix it later. I don't even see the microphone on this setup. As far as I can see, it's turned up as much as I can. So back to task. Thank you for joining us. You can talk to other people, other participants. We have found a way to mute you when you come in, but you can open your mic. Just right-click on your name, and you can mute and unmute yourself and speak. You can chat to other people that's with us. Moonstone has reported that she has been bombarded, or at least where she is, has been bombarded with ChemTrails, and that's the thing that we're going to look at. ChemTrails is in our program called Biohazard, and we're going to be looking at radiation. So if anybody would like to volunteer, right now you're looking at my desktop. So you can go up to the little green tab. It will move down. You can click on participants and chat. You can add to the chat to each other or to me. And you can open and close your mic by using your mouse and your name on the participants list. Richard is here with us. Richard, did you do anything with the information we gave you last week about you being exposed to chemtrails?
It took me a couple of days to pull a pillow off my head in shock and awe. And I did quite a bit following them with supplements to counterbalance, use my equivalent of countervailing frequencies by supplementation. Increased, water intake even more, took some of my own advice, cranked up my, did all sorts of beneficial things. So yes, it scared me, and it scared me into action in a positive way.
What did I say that scared you into action?
Mostly it was just the level of toxicity, that I had inflammation and there was a certain level of accumulated toxicity, which I think is part of the, I'm also now using in my mind chemtrails as a more generic term in that I just got back from a 4-mile walk outside in an agricultural area where down the way I see guys in hazmat suits spraying, things on vines. I see people on the other end of the way spraying weeds, with sprayers. I consider it all to be a chemtrail mix. And so it's a tricky thing living in an agricultural area.
We've had 7 or 8 people in, and including me. I came down with some kind of respiratory thing and just worked with my vocal print until I got an antidote. And then we worked backwards to see what I was poisoned with, and then beginning to check and see what was really going on. And by looking at the numbers and comparing charts with people, we found that the major thing that is common in people's charts is something called phosgene. And you can see it up on your screen here, phosgene, for people who are just listening. A colorless gas gained infamy as a chemical weapon during World War I, also valued industrial reagent and building block and synthesis of pharmaceuticals and other organic compounds. In lower concentrations, its odor resembles freshly cut hay or grass, which would make us want to breathe deeper, I think. In addition to its industrial production, small amounts occur naturally from the breakdown and the combustion of organochlorine compounds, such as those used in refrigerator systems. This chemical is named by combining the Greek word phos, meaning light, and genesis, birth. It does not mean it contains phosphorus. Well, we began to look at phosgene and some of the things it does. It was used in war to attack an opponent. It causes respiratory distress, which is what people are claiming to us, that they have trouble breathing the day or so after this. So, Richard, what did we find on your chart last week that you decided to do something about?
Well, I don't, unfortunately, because I'm not able to work on my main computer. I'm only on my tablet. I can't pull up the chart at the same time. But I do remember that there were toxins in my system, chemicals, that were, in my view, stressing out my adrenals, which I know, in combination of stressing out my kidneys along with then I take looking into stressing out the adrenals. And I think leading to inflammation. And it was based in allergens. That's what one of the things we looked at was allergens. So I was doing things to really help flush those things out of my system, and I'm ongoingly doing that with, vitamin C, sort of basic, what I consider basic things in terms of, higher doses of vitamin C, tonic herbs that are helping flush the toxins and pull some of the toxins out of my system, adding a particular substance called biochar into my system to help pull toxins out. Just everything I can, not a drastic, aggressive effect, more like just positive long-term benefit from detoxification.
That brings up a good point. We have a course coming up on the 18th and 19th on allergies. We should add Detox, one of our new programs, to one of the free programs that people get for signing up for that. I'm going to write myself a little note. We put in inflammation. We put in allergies. We always have muscles and nutrition in there. But I think we really should add the detox. So that was an important aspect of what we were doing last week, not only looking at what you're poisoned with, but how you might detox it. One of the things that I did after class, it looked so interesting what was going on. I put my stuff in there, and I went to the grocery store and found everything fresh and green, even green beans, which I thought was kind of odd, but it worked. And I chopped everything up and made a salad out of it, raw green beans. They weren't bad at all. Parsley, cabbage, lettuce, green onions. I threw in some turnips for crunchiness. I threw in some nuts, just for some roughage and all that. Parsley, the whole bunch of parsley. I just chopped up and made a great big salad out of it and just ate that every day for like a week. And it cleaned some things out. Yes, it did. I tried some herbs. That didn't seem to make a lot of difference, but I'm so ignorant about herbs and what I really should be taking. But if there's a detox, if you are poisoned with this, these ChemTrails come over, they tell you should probably detox your liver and your kidneys and your bowel. Have you heard it in any other direction, Richard?
No. Well, I mean, there's something, there are more drastic, immediate actions perhaps, but I think all of those systems are good to detox on a regular basis in a more tonic. When I use the term tonic, I mean long-term beneficial effects. There are herbs that you take as tonics that you don't see an immediate action on, like ginseng would be the classic example of a tonic, where you take it for years and you expect the positive effects from taking it on a regular basis down the road. And I think everything you were talking about, bowels and the kidneys is super because the adrenals are suprarenal, that, that benefits that whole system on a long-term effect. And ultimately the more we benefit our system with tonics, the less stress we have on the system as far as I'm concerned, which is good. Really good.
I think as we grow older, more and more of that trash from pesticides, and we didn't wash our vegetables and everything they spray. And in schools now, it is required by law that they spray every 30 days. And the people who have the most lupus are school teachers. So that's another immune issue. So you're saying kidney and adrenal should also be addressed with this. So if you want to look at your node correlate chart, and many of you have these, or if you want to go get them, you go to Nano Voice, N-A-N-O voice.org, and there is a chart there that you can download and share with your friends. There's downloads for a computer program. 2, we do have the Spanish version of Nano. It is not up yet. It was due to go up last Thursday. I'm going to have to find out what's going on with that. Thank you, Judy, for putting that in. And Judy and Phil have put up some very nice training films for people. So any of you who are part of their group, some nice Abacus and pulling points and things we're going to be doing tonight, they are reviewing. But remember, too, that if you take our course on the 18th and 19th, it's a 2-day tech course, and people have requested a weekend course, so we're going to try to put that together. But we will give you your money back for that course if you take our 5-day seminar course. So that 2-day, I think it has 5 or 6 softwares with it, and I'm going to add Detox to it. We will be putting out some flyers for that. If you haven't got yours already, just let me know. I love it that you guys are giving all this information. It's wonderful what displays about 90 teachers in the Atlanta public school system to erase tests from incorrect answers. Oh, wow. George is talking about teachers being pressured by the government to meet standards. I just think they aren't dealing well with the pressure of teaching to a test rather than teaching to what the children want or need to learn. My daughter is a superintendent of schools, one of them, and the other is a stay-at-home homeschooling mother. So I hear it from both ends. And the one that's the superintendent has started some new programs in Michigan that they are teaching to a core curriculum, but also what the kids want to teach. And she's been doing it now for 2 years, doing very well. But back to task. Back to this thing that you can download. If there is adrenal stress, you can look at F and F sharp combined with A sharp. So adrenal, F and F sharp, and A sharp. More F sharp and A sharp than anything. If you're dealing with a dirty liver, you're going to have the D. A dirty bowel, you're going to have a C sharp. So you can go in and look. And a lot of times this causes inflammation so that there's not enough oxygenation at a cellular level. And then you're going to have D sharp and E in stress. If you are not using your minerals in a way that allows your cells to signal to each other, you're going to look at G and G sharp. If you're not using your incoming resources, it's going to be A and A sharp, and the node of D is circulation. Now it's all written out on this little chart that you can download. But as part of this, you can use the little nano voice to see where the stress is first. So I would like to do that. Do we have anybody that will volunteer for? Lynn, are you willing to volunteer? Just click on it. Yes, she's opened her mic. Lynn, are you there? We don't hear you. Let me put in a phone number for you to call, and then we can hear you by telephone. 740-698-1881. You've opened your mic, but we still cannot hear you. So I've just posted the number, 740-698-1881. If you'd like to call and talk to us. In the meantime, I will set up this little nano voice. And any of you can download this. We do wonderful things with this. We do things with allergies. So we're going to see if we can get Lynn to call us where she might want to start with her detox that we associate with these poisons and chemtrails and pesticides and GMOs and all other kinds of things. Well, Lynn has closed her mic again. I don't know if she is trying to call us. Let's see if that line's open. It is. Lynn, if you want to raise your hand, maybe go down the bottom of the list and raise your hand. We could call you if that would help. Need to start projecting your voice again. Oh, you need to move the mic closer. Okay. Well, let's pick on somebody else new. How about David? Are you willing to call us? And Lynn's got her hand up. Okay. I'm going to well, you are already unmuted. So Lynn, can you call us and we'll wait for you here? Do you have a phone? Do you know how to use chat? I was hoping we could get 2 or 3 people in this evening if I would just shut up and not talk as much. 740-698-1881. David, I haven't seen you here before, so if you want to use that number and call us. Lynn, if you want to call us, thank you. 698, and then you're as dyslexic as I am. Lynn only has a cell phone. That's okay. Go ahead and call us. We'll see what we can do. Cell phones are not as good, but with the little nano voice, we're only looking for something very general. Usually with a cell phone, it'll be having an FF sharp, GG sharp around in there. So if you could call us, and David, if you would agree to be on deck and call us after we've taken Lynn's voice, that would be great and wonderful. No problem, Lynn. We love it that you all post and help each other. Okay, do we have Lynn on the line?
Oh, yeah, you do.
All right. Can you still see your computer? Can you still see your computer?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm going to click this little microphone, and this program's sitting there waiting for everybody. And once I click OK, you start talking about your day, or chemtrails, or being poisoned, or whatever you like. Okay? Don't stop until you see 500 up here, where the little circle is.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. I'm just calling, and I'd just like to say how delighted I am to be able to join into this program. I don't know if I've been exposed to any chemtrails or not, but it was just other toxins in the environment. And I did try the nano voice at home, and I didn't have any A-sharp, but I think I did A-sharp from up on the screen. And I'm only at 316. Today for my day, some people were coming over to look at the house. I'm hoping to sell it. So it's kind of a very busy running around finding that.
Got it. You already know how to use this program, so that's good. So we're going to name this Lynn, one line, and we're going to do chemtrails. Now, well, actually, we should put detox in here because what we see is you lack energy in your liver and your bowel. So we would go with you. Liver and the bowel. And there's a little bit, there's a lot of problem with bringing in oxygen, which is a note of E, and getting that oxygen to your cells. So we'd want to look at maybe something like iron, an oxygen carrier. We'd want to look at the note of D, your liver. There's some good enzymes that you can take for your liver. Telomere and I'm trying to think of some other. Is it horsetail, Richard? That's good for the liver and just cleaning everything up.
Well, horsetail in general is a great supplement. It's high in selenium. It's a slight detoxifier. It's more along the lines of, the silymarin or milk thistle is the classic. And I still like a formula involving something like burdock or yellow dock or dandelion. Actually, dandelion in any form, whether it's the leaves in a salad or sauteed lightly with olive oil and shallots or garlic, or the roots made as a tea or cooked into a soup. Dandelion's a great liver detoxifier.
And for certain,
even started to sound good.
She says it starts to sound good. For this problem where it's very unbalanced between D-sharp, cellular oxygen, and E, lung oxygen, what would you ask her to do there?
Well, it seems to me that if the liver begins to work, if the liver's stressed out and not working, then it makes it hard for the rest of the system to work effectively because the liver's doing so much of the detoxification that when the blood goes back through the system, it's not able to really get oxygenated. So I would really be kind and detox the liver, but I'm not a fan of there's a classic olive oil, liver cleanse, which I think is very aggressive, and only under certain circumstances would I think that's a good idea. I'm much more of a take some milk thistle every day, have some burdock every day, that kind of thing. More long-term tonic, gentle, happy liver.
I'm noticing, too, that her niacin is very low. So niacin really helps the liver in the Krebs cycle and gets circulation moving. So that might be something else to think about, some B vitamins. So we know where to go with her. We know that there's some oxygenation, some circulation, mapping, but mainly we've got problems with the liver and the bowel, lacking energy. Also the energy of the heart and large muscles, so there may be some fatigue in the muscles, the C, C-sharp, and D. If you can do it, you might want to find some music in C and C-sharp and D.
That would be, that would really work for me.
What's in D? Calypso music, flamenco music is in D and C-sharp. Who sings in C? Diana Ross does a lot of stuff in C. And we have some lists on our site someplace. I don't know where they are, but that would be great. So we're going to take a next step then, since we know what to do with you. And we're going to save this, so hold on.
This is fantastic.
All right. This is good.
I didn't realize I was in such a state, but this is just amazing.
Well, we're going to
use it. I love the idea of the herbs and just started the study of it. My brother's been bringing me dandelion.
That's good. So we're going to use a program called Audacity, which I cannot see on my screen. Let me see if I can.
I'm a little bit familiar with it. I think I've actually downloaded it onto my computer, but I don't really know how to.
That's good. We just looked at time domain. So as you said something, it came up on the screen. So with Audacity, we're going to. Oh, okay, Shemai, I will in a second. We're going to look at Audacity, but I've got a question here that says, look at the different octaves and what they mean. So we'll go to the numbers. This is a little advanced, but that's okay. She has -2. So her octaves are a little low, so she's probably some hormone things going on and depleted. But her primary octave is -2, and that's a little low for a woman, but not awful low. What's your age, Lynn?
I'm menopausal, postmenopausal, I'm 64.
Yeah, this would look menopausal to have it this low. Lots of information going on in the kidneys and the lungs, but the rest of the body is just not keeping up with it. So Shemaya was asking a question about the octave. 0 and +1 is probably a little kid. -0 and -1, and some -2 for women if they have a lower voice or if they have some missing hormones, and then -2 and -3 for men. So you can tell a lot about hormones by using the octaves. But we were kind of sticking to this for right now. Did that answer you? Okay. There is a little booklet that goes with this. Who else has their mic open? Nobody. Okay. We're going to ask you to talk for 30 seconds now, Lynn. We're going to use a different kind of information on you. This is this is frequency domain. So we want to look at some very specific things. We just look in general that you've got the C, C sharp, and D, and C and C sharp together is female reproduction. F and F sharp together is male reproduction. So I'm going to hit this little red button, and these are the seconds up here, and you're going to go to 30 seconds. Try not to stop even if you're describing what's in the room with you. Okay, you ready?
That's it.
Go.
Oh, I'm just going to say about how overwhelmed I am about how wonderfully detailed all of this information is. I am a little bit surprised about the liver, but because in my kidneys that have been aging, but I'm just so delighted to have this help and an herbalist and bioacoustic expert to analyze all this information and get this breakdown, and especially the music delightful. Am I up 30 seconds? No, I'm still going. Okay.
Oh, I got it, and I allowed it to go for 32 seconds. At the beginning,
that was a lick.
I'm going to explain that kidney liver stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to export this as Detox. And we're going to save it in my wave. This is some of the instructions that we give you.
Come back to the mic, Sharry.
Go back to the mic, Sharry. Okay, I had it over there capturing Lynn. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we saved this as Lynn Detox, but watch what she just said. She's having trouble with her kidneys. Didn't we just say kidneys are F and F sharp? Normal is a score of 42. So high scores usually mean pain. Low scores mean not enough energy. So there you are with your F and F sharp. The kidney and the process of the kidney doesn't match. It's almost double. So the structure is being overworked because the process is not keeping up. And the kidney and the liver come together at a chemical called aldosterone. And aldosterone controls calcium, potassium, and sodium. So those are 2 or 3 things that we need to look at. Your calcium looks a bit unbalanced. Your sodium, okay. Potassium is low. So these are just general things that you learn once you jump on this happy hour and look at all the things that we do all the time. And you begin to put all these pieces together. So I have saved this as a WAV file. We're going to take it into an Abacus. And for those of you who want the Abacus, it's waiting for you on our site, soundhealthoptions.com, because we have the radiation software there for people who want to download it and use it. And there's also an instruction booklet there. So go to our site, soundhealthoptions.com, go to the middle column, even though it's grossly out of date, we've got a webmaster that's been ill and our kids have been ill. So it's grossly out of date. But if you'll go to that radiation section, you'll be able to download the software, the textbook, the instructions, the charts. Let's see, we're looking for waves, Lynn Detox, and this will open and show us your vocal print, not by what you said, that you were impressed by what we were doing or whatever, but it will show us from 0 cycles per second up to 1,000 cycles per second. And what's in the gray is normal or coherent. Got one little piece right here that's coherent. This, I think, is 60 cycles a second. So we've got a 60-cycle hum. This is probably electricity here. I don't have anything coming on my mic. It might be over the phone someplace. So we're going to click those points, and it's going to choose the points. If it had chosen this one, I would have erased it. Now, this one I like because it's so open. The higher and the more open something is, the more active. So this is the highest note, and that's an F sharp. That means the process of the kidneys is F sharp. Let's look at the next highest note, probably this one. And that's a D, so that's the liver. Here's another F. Okay, that is the organ, the liver. And here's an A, that's about methylation. So those are the high notes. Let's look at the lowest note here. The note is C, we already knew that. That's large muscles, and with C sharp here, these are probably the hormones that are the problem. So I'm going to have to set down the mic. I'll try to talk louder. You guys will hear me typing here. Lynn, Detox, and we're going to call this an online. You want to give us your birthday? You don't have to. You can fake it here.
No, that's fine. It's March 15th, 1959.
Okay. And
I already said I was 54 in 2 days.
And issue, we're going to look at probably Detox and ChemTrails. If we were doing a real appointment for you, and we do these every day for people that call in and we do them online, we would probably go with hormones. We would add that to it. So I have this list. So 297, 231, remember that. I'm going to save this. All these instructions are in that Bioacoustics Basics book. I'm going to put this in my GNS file, which stands for Genesis. So that's where we start. Then Detox Online. And we're supposed to be doing Biohazard. I'm going to open that program. Biohazard was supposed to go up this week. It didn't. 9/11 is still sitting there for you, so I'd grab that while you can. So if we look at Biohazard, I deliberately put these little Easter chips in here because they're so innocent, because I believe man made most of the problems with these biohazards. Open client, go to the Genesis. There you are. Just going to dump all those numbers in there. Some of them were high, some were low. We could look for something, use, I don't know. I don't even know if there are any muscles in here. But if your leg hurt or something, we could put muscle. There's nothing in there about muscle. I wonder if phosgene is in here. It is not. We need to get it in here. So you can, I just don't know anything to look up right now, but we'll see it when we open your chart. So we just hit report. Now there's something that goes with this called a pastel folder. And that's waiting for you too on our site. It has graphs and charts about what nutrients need to work together. It tells you how to read these charts. You can use all of these. You can set up your own practice. All you need is a microphone, and you can usually get that at Radio Shack or Amazon. We use a Dynex, D-Y-N-E-X microphone. The first thing that comes up, you can look at this chart, move down through here, and we've got a 5 on F-sharp, that processes the kidneys, and a 4 on circulation. So circulation somehow connected to the kidneys, likely something about blood and blood clotting. Don't know yet. We'll look. Activators. You have human infection influenza, the California 2009 strain, high. Well, that's an activator. We need to see if the genome and the protein is there. There's also a high virus found in swine flu. So we need to look at that. So influenza A, California 09. Now that's the activator. In some of these shots that they're giving people, in some of the flu shots, they are including the activator to make you have the flu. They are also including something called hematoglutinin, which makes these viruses adhere to your cells more strongly, so you have a more viral attack of what is going on. And it's usually somebody who's been exposed through some kind of vaccination or through somebody else who's had the vaccination. We've had people come in here and they have measles and mumps, and they said, I didn't get the shot, but their grandkids did. They're passing it on that way. Adrenaline is very high. Now, when adrenaline is high, that's good in some ways and bad in others. It's good in that it keeps you going, but it's bad in that it stresses out your adrenals. Beta-carotene low. You do not want beta-carotene low. Beta-carotene is made from taurine, serine, coenzyme A, and Richard's favorite, cysteine. So we should keep looking for those things, or just go to your good health food store and buy some food-based beta-carotene. It's a precursor for vitamin A and another kind of vitamin A for the eyes. Lycopene is one of them. Lutein is one. Lycopene is found in tomatoes, I believe. See, there's that hemagglutinin. It's high. Virus found in swine flu. And they got you twice here. The genome. You have been exposed here to both of these.
Oh, you know what? I'm a nurse, and I had the H1N1 shot. It's the only flu shot I ever had. And here I've been saying, I haven't had my proper voice in 3 years. If I ever get it back, I'll know I'm well, right?
Well, the gene is in there, and we need to detoxify that gene. That is wonderful confirmation there.
Awesome. And it's the only flu shot I've ever had.
And there it shows up.
And my voice is, this is not my new voice. This is not my real voice. I haven't had my voice in 3 years, so this is exactly.
Here's some toxins. Acetaldehyde, butylated hydroxytoluene, where toluene comes from like furniture polish and wood strippers and things like that.
Oh, yeah, I would be exposed.
Carbon dioxide, well, that's the bad one. Or is that, exhaust fumes, the bad guy. So, and nitrous oxide. So it looks here like exhaust fumes somehow. Don't leave your window down in traffic. Don't drive behind diesel people. So those are high. I will send you these if you'll send me your email after this, I will send these for you. Okay, speak up means I didn't pick up the mic. Okay, get closer to the mic. Vitamin C high. Now, vitamin C is water soluble, so I would think that you don't have something that makes vitamin C work. Let me look at this chart. Now, this chart is waiting for you. It doesn't cost you anything. You know, this is not some bait and switch kind of thing that we're going to do something to you or make you buy something. Or worst of all, make you listen to some crap for a half an hour before they give you the answer. I hate that. Vitamin C, it's too high, it's water soluble, so you have something missing that's not allowing it to be useful. Bioflavonoids, calcium, magnesium, greatest with taken with beta-carotene. There we go. You need some beta-carotene in your system. I'm going to look at calcium, magnesium. Do you want to jump in here, Richard? Yeah, Richard.
I was actually I was just psychically clearing my throat, but yes, actually, I really would advocate for the milk thistle for your liver because you work in a hospital, because they use so many substances to clean and to sterilize and to keep things going. Excuse me, and there are a lot of those products that they spray on areas and then wipe them down, and the part that doesn't get observed that much is every time you spray them, that makes that particulate airborne for a while. So when you come in as a nurse into a freshly cleaned room, you're probably inhaling a lot more, a higher count than people who are in the room an hour later. So something to protect the liver really well is just simple milk thistle or silymarin on a daily basis.
Okay. What was the second one you said?
It's the same thing. Milk thistle and milk thistle is the botanical name is silymarin.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I think it's awful that they're forcing nurses to take these shots when they've been shown to be damaging to people. Just like you still got stuff in your system. Okay, well, that's what it says is the issues with you, not using your vitamin C very well. What was the other one? Can't remember. Oh, your beta-carotene. So there's two nutrients that you might want to look at, or some herbs. Somebody just sent me an article that they want me to show, okay? This says, Obama ignores nullification, says federal agents will enforce Obamacare. Looks like some states, Oklahoma nullified Obamacare, and Obama came back and said, if you don't enforce this, we will send our people in, and we will enforce it. We don't care what your state or what your people want. Wow. When it was informed that Oklahoma would not, in fact, legally could not comply with Obamacare mandates, Health and Human Services was not deterred, proposing instead the establishment of a collaborative enforcement agreement. This deal would permit the feds to force Obamacare on Oklahomans while allowing the Oklahoma Insurance Department to essentially keep its hands clean. Woo! Wow. That's pretty incredible, I think. If you guys, I don't even know what to say about that. I think Obamacare or any kind of government interference, whether it's Obamacare or what Hillary Clinton tried to put through when her husband was president, it doesn't belong in the hands of the government, no matter who's up for sale at the moment. So this is our way of trying to establish an alternative healthcare system without being noticed very much by those in power that would come after us and say you can't do this. And this is why we have the Guardian Network, Expressive Network, where we work with this once a month. And I think Detox is on the schedule for this month. But here's what we would do with Lynn's information. So all of you who want to download the program that's on there, which is radiation, we would go to Reports, send it to Printer, and then go to Print Setup, and I have it on PDF, and that's also waiting for you on our site that you can download. I'm going to make a little file over here for Lynn Detox. And say OK. And I wish that would get off my screen. So now when I hit Report, it's going to make a PDF file, which makes it available for me to send it to Lynn over the Internet. So on my desktop, I put Lynn in here, Lynn Detox, and we can ask it just to start putting those reports in there, and it will name them by vitamin. It'll be shortcut, like DA for vitamin, DI for vitamin. Now, where did all my reports go? There they go. See, this is toxins. We're saving it inside our file. This is the same thing that you guys can do. Download the program. You do have to call in and get it registered so we know who's got all this. There's a class probably on happy hour about it, saying that my prompts for privileges over here. Don't need that virus thing. Although I really got blasted yesterday and today with a big virus. It knocked my computer out for almost 24 hours. I would like to recommend something. They now have a thing that you can have them call your cell phone and get an opening number. I would recommend that to anybody because it's allowed us to clean up the mess that was created. Somebody went in and grabbed my email. So we now have all of those. I don't think any more is coming up. So I'll open my email. Then you probably don't want me to give out your email, so I'm going to fake this for a minute. You can tell me afterwards what your email is.
Oh, I trust the integrity of your email.
Okay, then we will say compose and give me your email address.
It's MLANDIERS. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, we already have it. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to put in here first instructions. And I do this because if you send people their reports first, they tend not to look at the instructions. And then they get all discombobbled. So we have something called a pastel folder. And I'm going to zip it right over there and drop it in. Now, usually I will only send these one at a time. But I'm going to go get your file, and I have it over here on the other display. And I'm just clicking on this and then holding down Shift and clicking on all of it. If that will move. And then grabbing it all and just dropping it in. And then once that grabs hold, I'll be able to send it. And this is a way that you can look at anybody who's exposed to 9/11 toxins, because the software is sitting there for you, and anyone that has been exposed to radiation. And we set that online because we think it's incredibly important. We have somebody online with us right now that's going to be in a book that I'm writing called The Many Faces of Parkinson's. And it's Marianne Lewis, and she came to us over a year ago, a year and a half or so, and had this Parkinson's diagnosis, and it ended up that she had been poisoned with radiation, and that's what had made her cells vulnerable to getting Parkinson's. So we're trying hard to detoxify her from the radiation. Now, I just sent that to you, so you should have it in your email in just a few minutes. You want to check and see?
Oh, I'm just afraid if I go back to check my mail, I won't get back on the, I don't know how to put a screen on hold and then get back to the other.
Okay.
So I'll be back.
Okay, well, let us know what happens and what you decide to do, and if you go to the store and get some good vitamin C or some dandelion greens or some good beta-carotene. Okay. Adobe Reader, allow, make it a trusted. Okay. So I think we have time for one more. David, we talked to you, but it looks like David has disappeared. Oh, he's up here. He's way on the top of my list. David, would you like to be a guinea pig for us? You can call the number. We'll put that in for you. 740-698-1881. Right, I'm going to hang up on you, Lynn, so David can call. I think she already hung up. 740-1881. Don't let us pressure you, David, into volunteering. If there's somebody else here who would like to volunteer, that's okay. I'd like it to be a new person. Janice, I haven't seen you here before. We have two Anns, so I don't know what's going on there. Michael, I don't think we've seen you here before. Nazia, you haven't been here in a long time. Who's on the line?
Hi, this is Kenneth.
Kenneth, okay.
How you doing?
Okay. Do you want to be a volunteer?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to see where your stress is first by using this general program called Nano Voice. And all you have to do is talk to us. Have you been watching?
Well, actually, I had just turned my computer. Hold on, let me turn my volume down a second. Okay, yes, I had just turned my computer on, and I had an email stating that you're doing like a little webinar. I first heard about you actually through Kevin Trudeau, and I'm a huge fan of his. And so I had signed up, I believe, to get information coming from your website. And lo and behold, I was finally able to hear you on the webinar, because any other time I always missed it because I was at work or I was out. So, I'm kind of nervous right now because I didn't think that you were going to answer. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, you quit talking at 4:95. The program quit at 5:10. But we can...
Can't hear you, Sharry.
Okay, can you now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, Kenneth is a multitasker. Kenneth, I don't see you online with us. Did you just get the number and call in?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So are you watching us?
Well, I'm watching the graph right now.
Okay, great. So you see this red is very high in A. Your body is spending a lot of energy trying to deal with what it takes in. Your methylation is very high. It should be 42. It's 122. You are also a multitasker, and you can put your emotions over there and turn them off. And you can look at, okay, this is what needs to happen right now. This is how I'm going to think about it. This is a plan. This is how you carry it out. That's your personality. So I'm going to put in Kenneth here. One line. And we're going to save this because most of your energy is lacking oxygenation. So arginine would be a nutrient that you would need. Richard, what do you get arginine from?
the big jug of arginine on the shelf. I'm kidding. I take arginine as a supplement before I go walk sometimes because I like it as an oxygenator. It gives one energy, but it's not a false stimulant. It's not an adrenal stressor. It's a really great amino acid. It's good for bodybuilders and all sorts of good energy. It's also really fabulous for making the arteries flexible so that if you ever have any kind of cardiovascular stress, your arteries don't burst like a bad pipe.
I just thought of something that's very full of arginine, horny goatweed.
See, that actually makes sense. It's an aphrodisiac. It's a minor aphrodisiac, and it makes sense because it has history of being beneficial for what do we call that? Erectile something or other disorder. Disease. What do they call that now?
If you take, I guess, maybe too much of that, couldn't that damage you cardiovascularly or what?
Horny goatweed?
Yes.
You'd have to be taking a lot to damage yourself cardiovascularly.
Oh, okay.
Well, we should just...
matter of fact.
Well, most people take it for testosterone or to increase muscle mass because arginine helps the cell breathe. It helps supply nitric oxide synthase and nitric oxide at a cellular level. So that's what we're looking for at the D sharp and E right here. Oxygen at a cellular level. It's the burn, the ignition in the cell that you have missing here. So we're going to go back. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is absolutely amazing. Because you know what? I first heard about this program because you was on Kevin Trudeau's radio show, and while he was speaking, you did him, and you talked about Rush Limbaugh, and you talked about other different people just by them talking. You was able to tell so much about them through this graph. So this is really amazing.
I just almost put myself on here. 15 to 18. I need to chop out because that's me. We need about 15 more seconds to be talking. Go, Kenneth.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I can just tell you a little bit about myself. I've always been into health and fitness. I had symptoms of type 2 diabetes 16 years ago, and I got on different type of supplements which regulated my blood sugar. I never had to take any supplements for any medication for 16 years, and I don't have any of the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. Never had to go to the doctor's way in a big business pharmaceutical way, and that's a little bit about myself.
Well, here's the nice thing about arginine. It is a precursor for citrulline and ornithine that helps the body regulate blood sugar.
Okay, wow.
Here's Kenneth online here. I'm going to show you on the map.
You're far away again, Sharry.
Well, I had to set this down so I could type. I'm having trouble typing with one hand. So as we begin to look at the arginine here, here's the ornithine and the nitric oxide synthase and the citrulline, all that helps the body deal with insulin issues, really the circulation of insulin. I mean, there's much more. There's zinc and a lot of others, but arginine is very important there. And that's the oxygenation of the cell.
Oh, wow. So how much arginine, well, you said it's a horny goatweed, so how much would you recommend that I take? Because I do have horny goatweed. I just haven't taken it.
I'm not allowed to tell you to take anything.
Of course.
So I guess you have to read on the bottle, or we go in and do a nutritional evaluation on you and see where your arginine stands.
Oh.
And we're doing ChemTrails right now and seeing what your toxins are.
That's one of my best studies. I've told so many people about ChemTrails and people like I got free days.
Well, they will. And at the beginning of the show here, we did a little study on people and found out that phosgene is the commonality for people with chemtrail toxicity. And phosgene is what's causing the respiration problems from these chemtrails. Those of you who are practitioners, boy, that's one of the weirdest vocal prints I've ever seen. It did not pick up any of this low stuff. Are you on a cell phone or a cordless phone?
Yes, it's a cellular phone.
Yeah, it didn't pick up these low ends here, so we'll go with the other side of this. What were we talking about? It was important. Chemtrails. The respiratory disease. The people who've taken our courses, and we have a lot of really good practitioners on this with us, and that's why we get such a range of people in the chat. If you aren't looking at the chat, there's one practitioner on here that's been with us for 15 years. So we're all the time looking for something better and a better way to do things. We have a network called Guardian of the People, and I'm having to set down my microphone, so hold on there. Here, I'll just move it around here. So Kenneth, and we're going to do this on, I don't need the Y there, ChemTrails, and I'm going to put in online. You in your early 30s?
Actually, in 2 years, I'll be 50.
You sound so young.
You know, people cannot believe me, and I'm not bragging. They cannot believe me when I tell them my age. They think I'm in my early 30s.
When's your birthday?
November the 11th, 1965.
Okay, and we're going to look at toxins on this. We're doing a 3-part series on toxins.
Okay.
If you just joined us, there is a computer program waiting for you on soundhealthoptions.com, middle column, and it is about radiation poisoning. I'll push a button here, and you can see it picked up nothing because it just didn't come through that there was something to pick up. But we look at what's really high here in V, so that's circulation. Could be your hands. Jaw. The jaw is noted B. Both of those are notes of B that are high and overworked. And down here, the note of F doesn't have enough information. So this is the process of the kidney that's in stress. So look at these notes here, 195.058. So the process of the kidneys, but we had oxygen and oxygenation of the cell. What would oxygenation of the cell have to do with kidneys? Possibly the minerals and the cell signaling that happens with the minerals, so sodium, potassium, and calcium. So let's see what we have. We're going to collect these numbers, high and low notes. The gray here is coherence. So I'm going to save this list, and I'm going to put it in my GNS files. And now we're ready to go. It's that simple. There's about 30 happy hours that go over this again and again for you. So the next step here is we're going to put this in Biohazard.
Okay.
Open the client, real easy. Just dump those numbers in. You recognize them again. Hit report, and away we go.
Wow.
Oh, we don't. Cancel here. Because what I did was leave it on PDF and send to printer, and I did not want to do that. So there'll be others popping up here I'll have to get rid of.
So does it matter that I'm on right now on my little iPad? You know, does that matter anything?
Well, it's not as accurate. If we wanted to do a really good evaluation, we would have you send us a couple of graphs, and that's on our site under clinical services. So here we're looking at B, 6, anything above a 4 we want to look at. And we have a 6, B, circulation nerves, electrical system, a 5 on F, that's the structure of the kidney, and a 5 on G, the use of minerals that is controlled by the kidney. actually by the liver and kidney through a chemical called aldosterone, aldosterone-stimulating hormone, and renin with one N. Renin with two N's for milk. So let's look and see what you've got. Oh, fibrinogen high, not good. This means a lot of fiber in the blood. Are you a type A blood?
You know, I have no idea about my blood type.
Well, usually they have high fibrinogen because they don't have enough protease to break down proteins. So you want to be careful with this. It's associated with blood clotting. Niacin can help with blood clotting. Catalase can help. Nattokinase, all those things can thin the blood. But look, this has the same use. May increase toxic effect of tobacco. This means it's in there twice. It comes out twice on the use column. It means it's not just there, it's there twice. So, any blood clotting issues in your family?
I've never had any in my family or me or anything like that, but myself personally, I take a lot of cayenne pepper, I eat a lot of garlic and ginger and stuff like that, and I've never had those issues, neither do one in my family.
That's good. Well, that note of B being your highest note, that is the blood circulation, the circulation of any fluids in the body. Richard, do you want to add to this fibrinogen being really high?
Well, I was going to say besides the nattokinase, there's another plant-derived enzyme called serrapeptase. Anything in the whole family of proteolytics, which are enzymes, plant-derived enzymes, that are going to help with excess protein in the system. They're also great anti-inflammatories. Would be good to add into the system, and I would take them what is called metabolically, and that means in between meals versus with food. They'll have better action if you take them on a in-between meal basis because they get into the system and really get an opportunity to do some of their cleanup work and not get confused with food.
Richard is our master herbalist.
Okay, you know, what's interesting, my wife is also an herbalist as well, so that's why I also know so much what I know. Okay, wow, how about that? Great.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Always good to have an herbalist in the house.
Definitely, definitely.
This is a chemical. Looks like it comes from asbestos exposure. This would be building materials, insulation, old buildings.
It's just saying that it's helpful with asbestos exposure.
Elastase is high. That's in there twice. Does that deal with connective tissue and skin tissue, or is that just an enzyme to break down? He's just posting. John Barron has an excellent enzyme blend targeted to clean up the blood, take between meals, and or before bed. So if you look at the chat, Kenneth, he's got the link there for you.
Chat, okay, let me see. Can I
Go up to the green tab. It's either at the top or bottom of your screen. And then you can look at chat.
What I see on my pad, I see my name on top. I see your name with a green microphone that's kind of lit up. I don't see a green.
You're already on the green part. You're seeing the participants.
Okay.
Down below that should be the chat.
When you tap on your iPad, that blue bar comes up and you see a phone and then you see a little icon of a group. If you tap on the heads, the silhouettes of the heads, chat will pop. You'll see a list of all the names, and then at the very bottom of that list, you'll see chat with everyone, and then you'll see the text happening in chat.
Okay, I see something right here. Yes, it says John Barron has excellent enzyme blended targeted to clean up the blood, take between meals and before bed.
That's it. Roll over that and grab that address. Okay, genomes. IL-1, interleukins, are high. Look at this. Protein expressed in swine flu and expressed in bird flu. You've been exposed to any of that? I wouldn't think so.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. Not that I know. Right. Okay.
But you can get exposure from being around somebody else. Like, if you be around somebody who has measles and through their measles shot, they can expose you and you can get it.
That's true.
I get the mumps every time I'm around my grandchildren and they get a mumps measles shot. And I don't like that, but you know, I'm not a parent. I can't dictate it.
I know. I understand that completely. I've been there, done that too.
But I get the mumps. Berberine helps to kill MRSA. That's good, and it's high, so we don't mind if that good or is high. Protein. Now, this is where we begin to match up. Now, you've got the gene and you've got the protein expressed in bird flu. This means you've been exposed somewhere. Somebody's had it, and then around you, it's in your system.
Wow.
So the protein and the gene. Once you get exposed to like the measles, it takes like 10 days for you to break out. So the gene comes in first. Then these very intelligent critters set up housekeeping, and it's what they give off. They're leftovers. That's what causes you to get sick. Now, there is grapefruit seed extract. There's colloidal silver.
That's what I have. I have to say, now if I can make my own.
Okay, then that will help keep this under control. Usually, well, I'm not say that. But the grapefruit seed extract we use is nutrabiotic. And it's an anti-hematic gluten and just will not allow these critters to be able to attach to your cells. And if you've got these proteins in there, they could be taking up your oxygen. Toxins, asbestos, grape mining, I didn't know that. Chemical filters, I got that stuff that's in new oil filters too. Fireproofing, electrical insulation, building materials. Green tea can inhibit this. Chloridane, that's been outlawed. They use that on pot, but that's been outlawed. But still showing high. It could be the frequency of something else. But this is a lot of high toxins. Well, most of it's asbestos. So, what detoxes asbestos? Clay? Is it the clay that'll take the asbestos out? Richard, do you know?
If it's in a lot of times asbestos ends up in the bronchioles because it's inhaled, and it's tricky to get out of the system. I think the best thing you can do is keep your mucous membrane strong by keeping your vitamin A's up and having a strong immune system. If it was in the digestive system or in the bowel, the clay would really help. Clay and psyllium and fibers would help pull it out.
Right. And since it's in the lungs, I don't know what would pull that out of there. We probably should go online and look for next week. So we're going to be doing the same thing again. Oh, and I just said 7:13. I'm sorry for keeping you on. Good.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
This is an artificial type of vitamin A, and you don't want to take it ever if you're a smoker because it can push you toward cancer once you get the natural form of vitamin A.
Right.
So you've got some dirty air somewhere.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's true, because I live right here in Vegas, and they chemtrail absolutely without any type of regulation. They do it all day, every day, tic-tac-toeing every single day.
We have 2 practitioners in Las Vegas, and we can get you in touch, and they can give you some antidotes for this respiratory problem that these chemtrails are having.
Okay. No, don't mind at all.
Okay, well, let's go up here and make a new screen and say Kenneth Online. And this is what you can do for your clients in the printer. Set the printer up on PDF. And when we start these reports, we'll send them right over there. I don't want to put them in Lynn's. We just did hers before we did you. So we'll put them in there. So your major issues are D-sharpen E, oxygenation at a cellular level. Arginine will help with that. And the B, the circulation. So you, and that, you know that fibrinogen in the blood, can that be a result of this asbestos poisoning? Anybody have an opinion?
I'd have to go with could be. It could be a result of irritation.
Paula is saying, yes, I thought the amount of water was silly until I experienced a problem. Perfect.
That's why I had to put that in the chat, Paula, because really the tricky part with clay is if you do not consume enough water, it will really slow down your digestive system in a not-so-good way. So lots of water anytime you're using clay products.
He almost said you clog your pipes.
Yes.
It's a certain kind of clay that you take.
Yeah, bentonite clay?
Bentonite's one of them. It's like a species of clay. It's not like you go get Play-Doh clay or something and do this.
Yeah, you got many different types: red, Moroccan clay, bentonite clay, and there's one that I cannot pronounce with an M. I cannot pronounce that name for nothing, but I know at least those three.
Okay, somebody is emailing me that wine, a good wine, will help detoxify the lungs.
Now maybe it's the action of the resveratrol.
Yes, that's a good point. Resveratrol. Isn't the inflammation that creates the fibrin a buildup in the body? Yes, and he just got dirty air because he's got the asbestos, he's got the fibrinogen, he's got the noted B in stress, so we need to be on a long-term lookout for his circulation. And we need to look and see if he's an A blood type and get him on some good digestive enzymes if he is. Catalase is really good. Catalase is in nice fresh apples. See all your reports coming up here? Saving them. I think that was the last one. Nope, almost. Now this is what you guys would do with your clients, and the only thing it's going to cost you to set up your business is a microphone, and they're about somewhere between $15 and $30 because I'm giving you the tutor programs, I'm giving you the classes, I'm giving you the instruction booklet, all the charts. So it's all here for you. And my rose-colored wish for the world is that there's a Bioacoustics Center in every community, and I certainly want one in Las Vegas, although one of the persons who is a practitioner is a singer there and very busy, and the other one is administrator in a school, and he's very busy.
Okay.
So maybe you're it.
Maybe, because I'm all into health and wellness. I mean, you know, other than God, if you don't have your health, you have nothing.
We believe that. We also believe that Bioacoustics is the health of the future. Okay, Kenneth, give me your email address.
Yes, it's, I'll spell it. It's KENIT64@gmail.com.
And I am going to open...
It's two N's. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put in a pastel folder.
And an L after the I. That's of Gmail.
Oh, Okay, now I missed my pastel folder. This tells you if something's high, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's high. It could mean that it's just not useful. So there is a chart there called a nutrient assimilation chart. See if I can find one. Stick over there. But it's also available on our site, middle column, under the radiation information. We'll make this smaller. Did that attach? Yes, it did. So here's all your files. This is very, very easy to do. And you can have people call you up, get a decent phone. We use a Polycom to do this. It's not really good. It's not the best it could be on a cell phone.
Right.
So we use a Polycom voice station. So this is attaching itself here, all these different files, and these are management reports, and you can do them yourself. Your wife should be very helpful since she's an herbalist. Yeah. But we need to get this garbage out of your lungs. And
I agree.
There's probably something on the internet that would help. We use HyperHealth. We use Wikipedia. Trying to think of some of the other things that we use. This is taking its time in attaching itself here, but it will happen. And I apologize for keeping you guys a half hour late. So I promised people that I wouldn't do that because they said, I can't hang up, but I really need to do stuff. So stay on time. Anybody
Sharry,
have
hi.
questions? Hi, Tommy.
It looks like the nutrient assimilation chart is just a shortcut and not the actual document.
Okay, I will go back and get that. Let's see where that is.
And so this program that you were talking about that you have, is that going to be also sent to my email too?
No, you're going to have to download that on your own.
Okay.
It's 2K, Tommy. Is that a shortcut?
Yeah, I think it is. It says that's a link, not an actual document, unless yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Nutrients. So let's grab one of these. This is a shortcut. See if I can scoot it over there. Yeah, 116K. Good thing Tommy caught that. Okay, sending it right over. Now I'll show you where these programs are.
Okay.
You should be getting that shortly. Here's our link. If you go to the middle portion, and it'll say, here's the next 2-day Bioacoustic Technician course. That's out of date. I will send that to you if you'd like. The big one. My email is just my name at Gmail, SharryEdwards@gmail.
Okay.
But you can go in and look at 9/11 survivors. There's information to download that. Radiation class is what I was talking about. Here's a couple hours of class about how to use the radiation software.
Okay.
A good vibrations video about what Bioacoustics does. Here's some articles. Radiation charts. Here's your textbook, and here's where you download your software. Have you ever heard of any organization that would give you enough information and tools to start your own business?
Absolutely not.
Well, that's what we want to do here. Actually, download both of these. The Abacus is the one that pulled all the points, and then the radiation software. Our rose-colored wish for the world, mine and Richard's and other people on here, is that there be a bioacoustic center in every community. And I think the government keeps us so broken and so torn down and so fearful that we're not able to pick ourselves up and help each other. So we have 15 programs that we plan on giving away in the next year so that people can have that many softwares. We're hoping to entice people to take our larger softwares. There's a 2-day course coming up on allergies and detox, and that's in April. And then in May, we're going to do things on biodiet and inflammation. So we have a course every month, and we hope that people are intrigued enough to see how valuable this is that they will join us in creating this expressive network of guardians. We call them guardians of the people, and they meet once a month and have classes and share software.
Okay.
Do you want to add anything to that, Richard?
I don't think no. I could go on, but I'm such a fan of the Guardians. I just think it's the way to go.
Richard once said, when I complained, that people said, if you're giving it away, it's no good. Because who would be dumb enough to do that? And he said, well, you're kind of like Oprah for health. People accepted Oprah's cars with no reservations. This is our gift to the world about their health and having dominion over their health.
Right.
So that's
you are the Oprah of health. I'm not sure we can say that, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, like I was going to say, and that we all know just briefly, how the powers that be definitely want to control our health in every aspect. So it's really our responsibility, our health.
Well, we've said this too on our Blog Talk Radio show, that if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and at the top of that is self-actualization and creativity and innovation. And that's where we were in America. And we've been knocked down to the bottom, worried about where our food is coming from, and is it wholesome, and are we safe, and is a drone going to come and get us?
Yeah.
We have been knocked down to survival.
Yeah. Well, all that was done, by design to keep people distracted from, certain real issues, and then, like I said, when someone come along talking about ChemTrails and talking about eating organic stuff and health stuff, and you don't have to buy so many pharmaceuticals and take so many pharmaceuticals, they look at you, like I say, like you're a monster, like you're a conspiracy theorist and all that other kind of stuff.
Well, we're trying to get the tools in the hands of the people, and we're doing it just as fast as we can. We're a nonprofit. We have to make enough to pay our staff to keep this moving. We have to pay enough to keep the computer programs rolling based on what people want. We got Tommy. He's in charge of all those computer programs. We just got a request today for lupus. Do we have anything for lupus?
I don't know. There might be limited stuff in the Genesis.
I will go looking because we've got a group of teachers that have lupus here, and they really need help. Thank all of you for being here. This archive should be up. I don't know. Usually it's a day. It may be a week now, depending on what our webmaster is doing. But I appreciate you staying longer. Appreciate you being here. Please come back next week when we are going to continue this about chemtrails and radiation. And as soon as we can finish the series, then these computer programs are going to go up on the website for you. If you love this, you think it's beneficial to the people, please let your Facebook know. I just had a wonderful vocal profile. This is a great thing. Go get your free stuff, and let's spread the word.
Thank you so much, Sharry.
Thank all of you for being here.
By the way, the link to the 9/11 program on the website doesn't work. It's down. And also, people are asking when the next Guardian class will be held. Sharry?
Call Tina in the morning. She has the schedule. We've got it scheduled about the next 6 months out. So she's got the schedule. It's just not up on the site. And my apologies. We got the croupier crud here, and there's been at least one person out every day for the past 3 weeks until we finally figured out what was going on here. And we've got this respiratory just floating around. So we think we've got it for the people here. Now two people went home today because their kids got sick at school. So we'll deal with that tomorrow. We can help people here, but it doesn't extend to their family, although we offer that to them. So, thank you for being here, and we'll talk later.
All right, thank you guys again.
Bye, Kenneth.
Thanks, Sharry. That was fun.
I love it when you jump in with your herbs.
I can't help myself. You give me an open mic, I'll jump in.
It just seems to be, to complete what's going on, we need to set you down with the computer program for herbs because it is so limited because we just didn't know anything. Maybe enough to be dangerous. There's so many good people here.
That is really coming around nicely. Wow. I don't know who that is.
Who?
No, I just hear a lot of noise. I'm not sure who that is. Open mic.
Well, I have got to end the meeting. So, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
See you